You walk out onto your front porch and you see that someone has fallen on the sidewalk in front of your house. You go out, ask him if you can help him, and you wind up calling an ambulance. He's taken away and you wish him the best. You don't think any more about it until a few weeks later, a gentleman shows up at your door dressed in a sheriff's outfit and hands you a piece of paper that says you're being sued. Well, what do you do about that? Well, in just a moment, I'll tell you. Today's casual day at the law firm, so I'm not in a tie. My boss says that wearing a tie lowers your IQ by about 10 points, and I tend to believe him. Anyway, so today you've been sued and you don't know what to do. Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to call your insurance agent. Your insurance agent will put you in touch with someone at the insurance company who can get your problem taken care of. Now, insurance companies are good for this particular purpose. The reason you have homeowners insurance is not really to protect your home against tornadoes and floods and that sort of thing, but more often than not, it's to protect you from somebody who's going to wander by, trip and fall on your sidewalk, and claim that it's because you were negligent that they tripped and fell. Now, sometimes there are legitimate people who fall because people don't repair holes in their sidewalk or leave big gaping holes in their front yard, or perhaps even worse, leave things in their front yard that a person could trip over if they weren't paying particularly close attention. All of those situations are certainly the kinds of things that the law is meant to remedy through the civil litigation system. The first thing you do when you need help with a legal problem of being sued is contact your insurance agent. And your insurance company can tell you whether or not you have coverage for that particular lawsuit. Generally speaking, if you have a regular homeowner's policy and someone hurts themselves on your property, your homeowner's insurance should take care of that matter for you. Now, there are sometimes exclusions and limitations in an insurance policy that you need to be aware of. If you haven't read your insurance policy, you need to do that, and you probably need to do that today. For example, one of the exclusions in your insurance policy is what's called the business pursuits exclusion. The business pursuits exclusion says that if you are operating a business in your home and someone is injured because they come to do business with you, your claim may not be covered. You may need to have a general business insurance policy to cover that kind of thing. And if you don't know that and you invite people into your home, for example, to look at your works of art or to buy your photographs, and they trip on the way out, you could very well be facing a situation where you are not insured, or where, even though you are insured, the insurance doesn't cover that excluded peril. That's one of the reasons why it's very important to talk to your insurance agent and find out exactly what you're covered for, and also to make sure that you read your policy so that you understand what your rights and limitations are in that policy. So, if you have insurance, there is a good chance that a lawyer will be appointed for you, and you really won't have to do too much until you have to sit for a deposition later on. The lawyer will take care of offering any of the legal defenses that need to be offered in order to make you, or in order hopefully to prevent you from becoming liable. Let's suppose the injury occurs out on the sidewalk and you're just renting the house. Well, the landlord may be responsible for the injury out there on the sidewalk. So you may need to notify the landlord, and you may also need to notify the plaintiff's attorney that you do not own the home or you do not own the property. However, one way to avoid having to make any of these notifications is to get a renter's policy. Now, a lot of people think a renter's policy that all it does is protect your goods or protect you from, what happens if somebody steals your piano. That's not what a renter's policy does. It provides liability protection as well. And liability protection is important because it allows you to avoid having to pay someone if they injure themselves through your negligence. In other words, if somebody comes into your apartment that you're renting and you have water on the floor and don't tell them, and they slip and trip and fall on your wet floor and injure their back, well, that's a claim that could be made against you and not against the landlord. So you need to have insurance to cover that particular peril. Generally speaking, your insurance agent can give you far better advice and far more advice about what kind of insurance you need than anybody can on YouTube, because he will understand both the law in your area as well as what policies his particular company writes. But if you are sued for any reason, the first thing you need to do after you call your insurance company is contact your own lawyer and get a copy of the lawsuit to your own lawyer. Because here is a critical thing. If your insurance company goofs up and doesn't get an answer on file in time, you can be liable through what's called the default judgment. You didn't show up, you weren't there to answer your side or present your side of the case, and as a result, you got dinged for it with a large judgment. And sometimes that happens more often even than insurance companies are willing to admit. So after you call your insurance agent, the next call should be to your lawyer and get him on the case and let him know that you've been sued, send him a copy of the lawsuit, and have him talk to the insurance company and make sure that you are indeed covered, and make sure that an answer gets filed within the amount of time that you have to get that answer filed in court. There are a lot more things that go on in a lawsuit than simply answering. There are defenses and motions and many other things like that, and that's what you hire a good defense counsel for. Recently, I was sued, and I was sued because somebody slammed on their brakes in front of me and caused an accident. Fortunately, I had excellent insurance through USAA. If anybody is a veteran or an active service member, that's an excellent insurance company to do business with. Now, they're not endorsing me. I get no benefit from them. I'm simply telling you about somebody that provided really good service to me. It's not a paid endorsement, not an endorsement of any kind. But good insurance is a thing of value, and you should be willing to pay for it. Well, that's the long and short of insurance and defense when it comes to being sued. If you found this helpful, I hope you'll hit the like button and also press the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber, and touch the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I post a video on here. Thank you so much for watching, and have a terrific day.